All right, so welcome to today's talk. And all right, so welcome to today's talk. I'm making this video at 10:40 at night. I'm a big follower of Steve Jobs, so I read a lot of Steve Jobs, and I try to understand how he lived his life as. And I think there are very few things that Steve Jobs have said which made a lot of impact on me. One of the things he said was that a large percentage of your life is going to be about the work you do. So that's why it's important to really, really love the work you do. And this is for my friends, my homeopathic friends. So you really have to fall in love with your subject. And love is not something that happens overnight. It happens with days, with weeks, and then slowly and gradually you develop a kind of a thought process about homeopathy and the science of homeopathy, and you keep thinking about it. One of the very interesting person is Vithulkas. You listen to his talks on YouTube, and just the depth in which he talks is so interesting, very inspiring for me. So Steve Jobs said that a large percentage of your time is going to be on the work. So more than anything else, more than finding anything else in the world, it's important to really, really fall in love with your work. So that's what I will suggest you, a lot of all of you there. Use this lockdown which was there, and now we're going to start the opening up of the lockdown. This is the time to really, really refine yourself. So today was a cyclone day here. Fortunately for us, it didn't really. It was a mild kind of a cyclone. It really didn't reach Mumbai so badly. So here we are. I had to cancel webinars today and tomorrow due to that. But then, fair enough, no problem. So let's talk about a few remedies before I finish for today. We're going to talk about a very interesting remedy, brachyglottis repens. It's also common is puka puka. There are two things I want to tell you about this remedy. The number one thing I want to tell you about this remedy, it's a very important remedy for renal pathology, for albuminuria, when protein is there in the urine, very high protein in the urine. Um, Lot of pressure in the neck, urging, and that's why in acute renal failure, chronic renal failure, this could be a very important organ remedy you could think about. Feeling as if urine could not be retained, soreness. So there's some local symptoms. And the other important thing is it's very important for writer's cramp, McFoss like symptoms, cramps, cramping, which goes from flexor carpi ulnaris goes upwards. So this is very interesting. Two indications that I want to tell you about. Compare apis, helonius, mercor. This is all in the renal sphere. Huh? Interesting, brachyglottis. Something that I would like you to remember. The other remedy I would like to talk to you about is Bothrops lanceolatus, yellow viper. It's a snake remedy, a very important remedy in today's times. I use this remedy a lot. I think one of the first time I learned this remedy was with Vijay Vaishnav. I remember my teacher Vijay Vaishnav. He was treating a case of stroke in college, and I remember he only asked the patient, "Is your stroke in the reports?" He just read it. Was it like a hemorrhagic stroke or a thrombotic phenomena? And the report showed thrombotic phenomena. So he said, and that just went in my head. Thrombotic phenomena causing stroke with hemiplegia, with aphasia, inability to articulate. Top remedy, Bothrops. Top remedy, Bothrops. There are more remedies. There is Chenopodium antihelminthicum. There is Calibromatum, also top remedy. But this is very important, Bothrops. Also, it is known for hemorrhagic constitution. Not many people know it's for septic states as well. A lot of hemorrhage in this remedy. Inability to articulate without affection of tongue. This is important. This shows that the problem is not in tongue, it's more in the brain. Brain related pathologies. Think about Bothrops. Diagonal course of symptoms and pulmonary congestion. So these are some very, very important symptoms of Bothrops. Very important for blindness from hemorrhage into retina. So retinal hemorrhages, retinal pigmentosa. Think about this. day blindness. This can be very important for retinitis pigmentosa remedy. Very important remedy. So typically in stroke, you'll see a swollen face, throat will be constricted, cannot pass liquids, tympanitis. These are will be typical symptoms. Also very important for lymphatic swollen, malignant erysipelas, and gangrene, swollen hemorrhagic infiltration. So when it's related to brain pathologies, when you'll think about Botrops. More right-sided remedy. Interestingly, it's a right-sided remedy like Crotalis, and you can compare it with other remedies like Lachesis. Lachesis is left-sided. There's one more remedy, Toxicophus. Beautifully, it's written that pain and fever recurrent after bite of the patient. So there's a very interesting story written by Kent about this. You should read about it. So this is a little bit about just two remedies before you sleep for tonight. Just a little bit of a story before you sleep, so that you learn two remedies before you sleep. I hope this was interesting, and I hope that you are making best of your time, and I hope that you find peace as well.